is water in the morning.
Scores Can Talk. I'm Kendrick J.
Hi, and I'm Mama J.
We got a real special guest here, my brother. You know, somebody I've been knowing that I love. This is somebody I talk to just about every single day. my brother, I'm glad you came through. Darrington.
So I appreciate you all. It's a pleasure to be here, very much so. Just I've been watching it over time, watching your growth over time, man, and it is amazing. You have great upbringing, and it shows. It shows. I'm just glad to be a part of this crossover, man.
Thank you. And Darrington, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I'm 38 years old. Came into the program with an addiction of alcohol. Had a great upbringing, which is crazy. Had a great upbringing, just a lot of unexplained questions, things of that nature that never got answered, and trying to seek answers on your own, you kind of get a definitive understanding of how that process goes if you don't have a blueprint. And I kind of just try to find it within myself, and clearly it was incorrect. So that kind of led me down a nice little dark path, and had me a son. He's 15 years old, just turned 15 this past week. And having a child changes your perspective a little bit more, because at that point you're not living for yourself, you're living for them.
Right.
So it kind of gives more of a meaning to doing good, in a sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
But overall, man, I've been blessed. Glad to have become the person that I am today. I'm glad to be 38 to even notice it, and to just pour in more into my son and to people around me and his friends, just to show them some type of structure of better understanding.
Right. Understand. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good to see you. Good to see that you're doing
too,
good,
man.
man. You doing great. You looking great.
appreciate that.
It's good to have you on the platform. This episode is gonna be a little different. I know we normally do testimonies and stuff like that, but we got a couple of topics that I think need to be addressed.
Most definitely.
That I feel like that'll be good to discuss.
Yeah.
Of course.
So the first topic that I want to talk about is Nolan Ryan, right?
Okay. Very big issue.
Nolan is somebody who went to go hang out with his friends on 4th of July, right? And Nolan didn't come back home that day. Came up missing. They went to, they was in Mississippi on a boat.
Yeah.
Right? Him and a few of his friends.
Yeah.
And it's a discrepancy on the story. I don't know if his last name is it Nolan?
His last name is Wells, right?
Wells.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nolan Wells.
Nolan Wells.
Yeah.
So these are the facts, right? So I looked into it. I seen some videos. It's everywhere. It's like the biggest story out right now. So the facts are he was there with his friends.
Yeah.
There was a boat involved.
Yeah.
Right. Not only that, it was a girl that was in the picture that he was talking to.
Yeah.
The thing that really bothered me the most about this story is it's not enough information for me for an event like this on 4th of July at a lake in Mississippi that's known, that's put out there.
Yeah.
Why is so much information having to be discovered when there's so many people? You got over 1,000 people. I seen today it was over 1,000 people there. There's boats up. Why is information not being put, given to enforcements versus they having to dig for information? That's
Okay. Let's get two perspectives. From a parent's perspective, what is your outlook on that? And then I'm going to give mine.
Okay. Well, being that there was a parent with them on the boat, if it was me, I wouldn't have never allowed my child or their child to part in ways. You came with us.
Yeah, you leaving with us.
You leaving with us.
Yeah.
You know, it really breaks my heart, that his parents have to go through this time. It's just too many people there for no one coming forth and saying, yeah, here's my phone. I have footage. You know.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. My outtake on that. Let's go past the actual issue at hand. Let's look at where it happened at. Let's look at the history
Right, right.
of where it happened at.
Right.
You gotta see how if it's known for things to happen bad in those type of surroundings, even from way back then, it's like, how can we not make that self-evident right now as everybody is making the South seem to be, you know?
Right, right.
So that's why the teeth pulling of information
Right.
is so hard to get right now, because it's like, you know what, we don't want to feed into the narrative of what we known history to be in
Right.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you got to work for it. And it's sad to say that you have to go about it. It takes something like that to where you have to notice that. But then if you look at the scheme of things, this followed right after the Carmelo Anthony deal, you know?
Right, right.
So the food hadn't had the time to get cold before you put it in the fridge yet, before it just kind of breaks off all over again. And that process is kind of hard for America to just kind of take in,
Right.
to my knowledge.
Right.
And that's outside of the actual facts that's been presented thus far. But just to go back to what you stated, I think it's a lot of parties that is involved, and it's kind of make things look more suspicious. But if you don't know the law and know how to kind of move around it, then you wouldn't understand why the kids are turning off social media. You wouldn't understand why the kids are not giving up phones. You would understand that, and it's instruction not only from them, but it's coming from a parents.
Right.
That's actually is a representation of where they're at.
Right.
So it is a very big deal for us to understand the history of Mississippi, to understand why this situation is going on right now.
Right.
We have a lot more structures. You have a lot more barriers. You got more lines to cross, more paperwork to do.
Right, right.
What's the best way to kind of move around from that?
Yeah.
Be silent, you know?
Now, a couple of facts that I found out today that's new, right? A new update on this case is the people who was involved, who was on that boat with Nolan Wells, right? The boy, one of the boys that was on the boat, the parent, right? The parent that was on that boat, they did reach out to Nolan's mother.
Yeah.
It was text messages of showing the message of these people reaching out to Nolan's mother, which didn't get a response. So you have some people questioning the mother and the parents, like, if you're so concerned about getting information, why are you not reaching back out to the people who would know the most about what happened in that situation? You know, there was one message where, you know, one of the parents said, "Give me a call. We need to talk."
Yeah.
There was no response. But I don't have any kids. You know, you all are parents. But I can't help but to think in situations like that, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to believe. You have attorneys. This is still under investigation. You really got to be careful on what you say and how you communicate and who you communicate with, because of the information that hasn't been given and the information that y'all are trying to figure out. So I don't think it's not that she's neglecting information from them or she don't, want to communicate. I think just legally she have to make sure all her T's are crossed and all her I's are dotted.
That is exactly true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing of it is fear. You know what I'm saying? She's scared. Why? Because she been living in this same world as everybody else. She's been seeing the same cases going about. And part of her is like, you know what? I'm going to get justice for him.
Yeah.
Other part is that it may not ever come, and how I'm going to live with that. So which one is weighing heavier on me for me to actually accept this response and just give in to it to see what's what? Will I be able to use it if we go to trial?
Yeah.
Will I be tied up in paperwork to where I can't say nothing about it?
Right.
So with all of these things going about, when a person is in that type of traumatic mindset, they're not thinking clearly. So that's why they're taking legal advice. That's why they're trying to figure out who to talk to, who not to talk to. And at that point, I'm not a legal advisor. I don't know how that works. So I got to trust you.
Right.
That's what you got a degree for.
Absolutely.
So if you're telling me I don't need to talk to nobody, I can't talk to nobody. but yet it's been put out there in social media on all platforms that such reach out such, but now they don't know why I can't talk to them.
Right.
But the world want answers.
Right.
The world is looking at it as we're trying to tell you, but you don't want to hear it. You got to look at things from different aspects to know how it works, and it's hard to try to find that calm place to be able to accept that. You mentioned, yeah, I do have a child, and I tell mine all the time, if I can't go with you, you can't go.
Right.
And I say that, and it's not to not allow him to do things on his own. It's for the security, not only for myself, but for him. He may not see it, but it is very calming to me to know that we're getting in the same car together when we leave.
Yeah.
And if that's what it takes until I can see that within him, then that's, to me, is a good day, you know? So you got to kind of go with the times. When things change, you got to change with them.
That's good. That's some good stuff. Now, I just want to say, rest in peace, Nolan. Condolences
to the family
from us individually, from us as a platform. Scars Can Talk, to you, your family, to friends, loved ones.
You stay strong.
We do know that this is a tough time for the family. And we give all our condolences and love to you guys.
Yeah.
And we hope that that something is figured out, and that y'all can put this away in a peaceful way. And God bless you all.
Most definitely.
And I want to add to that. I just want to say, world, people, everybody, continue to pray for Nolan's parents and family and those that was connected to him, that knew him, that had a relationship with him.
Yes.
Let's continue to pray, because this is going to be a long healing process for his parents.
Yeah.
It is. It really is, man. I couldn't even imagine.
So, and what you said about being with your son is a great segue into our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that I've noticed for years now is the younger generation. Right, they do things a little different. I know my mama can testify.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So the younger generation, I just notice a lot of things that the younger generation do. I just didn't see it growing up. I wasn't raised like this, so I have a tough time understanding a lot of things that I see.
Yeah.
This generation do.
Me and you both.
For instance, right? I see a lot of. My understanding growing up was there's certain boundaries that you just don't cross, right? And that's with your elders, with your parents, especially your grandparents.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A grandparents that's like the head. Like,
Yeah.
whatever granny say, that's what goes.
That's
That's
the
right.
president.
And I wish you would say something back.
Yes.
I wish you would fix your
Yeah.
lips to say something back
Yeah.
to your grandmama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that nowadays I've seen this younger generation treat they grandparents, treat their parents as if they like just somebody random off the street.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard to see, man. I'm not even gonna lie, it's very hard to see. And I think what it kind of boils down to, man, for me, from my understanding, I want to say it's a sense of entitlement all the way around. And the only reason why I say that is because everybody wants a definitive explanation to why this happened and that happened. Sometimes when your granny told you something, you didn't even ask why.
Right.
You didn't have a voice to ask why. You just had to not do it.
Right.
Where did that power get lost? Where did that get lost? If we can get back to that as a society, to where everything is not a valid point that needs to be explained, and just take it for what it is and keep moving, then maybe you wouldn't get the conflict of questioning. To me, all things don't have to be explained.
Right.
And when they're not explained, then it's when you get the arguments. You get the going back and forth. You get the whole anger behind it. Why? Because you haven't even mastered the let it go aspect, but you want to master the conflict aspect of it.
And it don't make sense to me because you'll be at work and your boss tell you to do something, you don't even ask why.
Yeah.
But your parents, your grandparents tell you to do something,
wanna question
and you want to question it.
Man, that's a hard pill to swallow, man. And I think what makes it different, you said it, something, we wasn't raised like that. We see something different than what we were back then. You got to understand, social media plays a big part in that as well. We didn't have eyesights to see nothing until it happened, or we heard about it. We still don't know if it was true. Why? Because it was he say, she say.
Yeah.
Now you got recordings. I saw that happen, and did nothing happen. To a mind that's not fully matured, you know what? Let me try to see if it work in my household.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna try it,
Yeah.
and depending on how that response is, if it's not corrected with force up front, then you're given some type of motive for that to continue, and it's small. It plays in small increments.
Yeah.
Then it plays out at school. So, and then we're talking about one person doing so. So let's count 300,
Yeah.
400, 500. It's hard to control that mass, you know.
Right.
And I think that plays a big role. And even with us, when we were coming up, we might not have had social media, but we did have music videos, things of that nature. We may have seen Jeezy do this.
Now we have
here.
MySpace now.
Yeah,
We have-
we had that, but it wasn't that direct.
like what it is
Nah,
today.
it was kind of controlled.
Yeah.
But the fact that we seen those things and didn't want to do it, what made us not want to do it? Because of what we learned at home.
Right.
Because of the shutdown that we got up front when we
knew
came
mama
to
didn't play
Granny.
that.
We didn't. We didn't want to confront the bear.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
it.
that fear has been lost now.
Yeah.
So now that fear is lost, it's just running wild.
Yeah. Mama J, when it comes to kids doing this, how do you feel as far as the why, right? The why, is it a parent thing? Because while we're talking about this generation, a lot of the parents in this generation is not like the parents back then,
So true.
right?
So true.
So do you feel like the upbringing, the parenting has a role to play?
Of course, has a major cause behind it. You know, when in my growing up, you didn't question your parents.
Yeah.
Right.
What they say,
Go.
it goes.
Right.
I think parenting now, you know, you have young parenting, you know, teenage, you know, parenting, pregnancy, you know, and so just being, you know, young and the respect,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
the
That's it.
respect, the respect, it's like dinosaur years, you know, what happened to the respect?
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I'm big on respect. I'm a grandmother 13 times. Okay,
That's a blessing.
That is.
it is a blessing, and respect is just something that I didn't even think about doing. First of all, I was afraid to disrespect my mother. Secondly, I loved her, and I respected my mother because she was the queen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's who took care of me.
Yeah.
That's who provided for me,
Right.
clothed me, got up and went to work and provided
Right.
for me. So it was just something that was just out of the question. You just don't do it. But today, I'll have zero tolerance for disrespect from my sons or my grandchildren.
Right.
I don't tolerate it. I would distance myself from you in a minute.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that doesn't mean you stop loving.
Right.
Not at all.
that doesn't mean you stop loving your children, your grandchildren, you know. But I think a lot of it too is a lack of teaching.
Yeah.
You know, because even some of the parents out here act like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's-
they show them. Like,
Yeah.
I have one niece, and oh my gosh, I won't call her name, but she just so disrespectful to her mother and her grandmother.
Yeah.
And you know where I come from, you know, you get slapped
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not
back
happening.
to yesterday years.
Yeah.
You know, you just it's ridiculous, and it's just we need to do something about this. You know, you can be walking out in the public, and these youngsters standing around the stores, you know, out and about, and they like, I mean, they just will curse you out.
Yeah. Yeah. In a heartbeat, man. It is sad to say, man. And I know I was talking to you not too long ago about the whole 4th of July incident. So what we did was my son wanted to pop firecrackers, right? So got him some firecrackers, and didn't really have no place to pop because you're not supposed to pop in the city limits. Right. So kind of wanted to kind of go back to my roots or whatnot. I grew up in Woodtown, went to Carter High School and everything in Oak Cliff. So they always have like a block party by Unfriendly Elementary School. And so I wanted to take him out there just to let him see. I really wanted him to see some fellowship, honestly.
Right.
That was the main thing, to see people of his color and caliber just enjoying themselves,
Have a good time,
having fun. You know, to me that is missed because everybody is so fearful of what fun could turn into. So we driving, going down the streets, and mind you, it's dark as nighttime. All the kids are walking, and he's looking and gazing, and he stops and pauses. He said, "Dad, look." I said, "Look." He said, "Them guys over there, they full black Nike Tech ski masks and everything. You'd have swear they was just SWAT ops or something. I don't know. About 4 or 5 of them, and they're walking with these ARs about as long as they bodies, you know." And I'm just like, what's going on here?
How old do you think these guys are?
Had to be in high school kids, probably even younger than that. The body frame's so small. We talking about 5'6", 5'7", 135 pounds. So
just
wet,
as
big as them, half of your body size. And I'm like, well, like what's my first thought as an adult is what's going on out here to need that type of artillery for a child? To me, if I need to bring you something like that somewhere, I'm not going.
Right.
That's just me. I'm not going.
Yeah.
And they're just walking around with it, and it was multiple guys. It wasn't just one, multiple guys. And my son was just shocked, mind you, that social media thing. For a person that had never seen that in person, that is a life-changing moment for a person.
Yeah.
He done went from popping firecrackers, I just want to stay in the car.
Right.
I said, I don't blame you, but I want you to see this. Why? Because it's easy to kind of mimic something that you ain't really just seen yet until you actually see it.
Yeah.
Till you actually have to dodge a shot fired, you know? Yeah. And they're walking around, and next thing you know, we're trying to park, and the same guys hit the corner, and there was some shooting right in front of the car. I mean, just right in front of our face. Yeah. I mean, just shot a dude down like it was Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
then
God.
They just ran off, and that was that. And my heart about to jump out my chest. You know, I get out of there or whatnot and drive around again some more, and the crowd just migrated from one spot to the next. You know, and when that happens, I mean, it's either a fight or flight type thing, man. But you gotta look into yourself and figure out what's best for me at this point.
Right.
You know?
Right. And people nowadays, they don't even try to stop the altercation. They pull out their phone and record it. Don't nobody try to help. Don't nobody try to stop the situation, try to de-escalate the situation. They pulling out their phones trying to record it for social media.
But my thing is, what comes with helping? Is it a punishment? Is it retaliation? Why? Because the brain level of the person that did the shooting isn't strong enough to know that this person is innocent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to look at it in that aspect to where you got to cut all corners on your mind to figure out, is this worth trying to save? Which is sad to say nowadays. That's sad to say that I can't call or try to, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nothing to happen to me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that whole aspect is very scary. You know what I'm saying? And so it's idolized with what we see on videos now from rappers or whatnot. And sometimes you got to let music just be music, you know? I think we used to listen to music and internalize it to hype us up for a football game or for this, that, and the third, not to actually reenact bar for bar what happens and put it on the street. Like, that to me is crazy. And I think that boils down to accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. If you don't understand where you fall in this situation or understand where you fall 10 days from now in the future, because everybody wants to live for the now.
Yeah.
But if you don't make it past today, then what are you living for?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I just think it seems though we are living in times where people don't value life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
My granddaughter yesterday, Trinity, she was telling me about a fight that she got into. And the girl just wanted to fight her. And so, Trinity is a little slim. She reminded me of myself, like little sticks and bones when, when I was her age. And she was walking and the girl just ran up on her. And I'm looking at the video and they just swinging, hair pulling. And I'm looking at the crowd that's surrounding them, and no one takes the initiative to try to break them up. Everybody just got their phones out, recording, but nobody tries to break these kids up from fighting.
Right.
It's like everybody wants a show. Everybody wants something to post, no matter if they're watching you fighting or watching you get shot to death.
Right.
Yeah. Very scary, man. It's very scary. I think, and like I was saying before, just to touch on that, it's what's going to happen if I try to de-escalate this. So instead of me trying to de-escalate, I had to think for my son to be like, you know what? Let's get you out of that environment so that you ain't even got to be put in that position to try to de-escalate it.
Right.
So what does that start with? Choosing your friends wisely, choosing your surroundings wisely.
Or even just calling law enforcement, putting them on notice.
Exactly.
You know.
And I think that's kind of being viewed as snitching, quote unquote, nowadays. But it's you have to be able to live past what people are calling you, and it's a shame. It is a shame that that's not even a first thought.
Mm-hmm. So do we not snitch versus see someone get beat down to death?
Let's be clear. If you recording it, you snitching anyway.
Absolutely.
Point proven. Point proven.
If you recording it, you snitching anyway.
Point proven.
So you might as well call law enforcement at that point.
True.
Because when it comes down to a case aspect, they pulling all cameras. They pulling all phones. They coming to ask you questions. So as much as you're trying not to be in that situation, you are publicly putting yourself in it.
Right. Right.
And like I said, it all comes down to, are you going to put yourself even in that situation to have to be pulled to the side, to be questioned, to be viewed or looked at as such? You have to ask yourself everything that goes about now, which is the crazy portion of it. You have to notice your perception of people and yourself, and that is a daily task on its own, you know what I'm saying, especially for the youth, because there's so much going on. They want to do everything. I don't want to keep them from it, but at the same time, I have to be cognitive of what everybody else is going to do. And even when we was going to the club coming up, we used to try to enjoy ourselves, but it's hard to enjoy yourself when you're paying in a room
Yeah.
trying to see 4 or 5 guys moving in one direction. Now your head is on the swivel. You can't even
Yep.
enjoy yourself because you
gotta watch everything.
you
going
noticing
on.
the crowd. You
Yep.
know.
And I think also, and this is going back to the parenting. A lot of stuff that's going on in our communities with our kids, with the guns and the violence and all of that, is because the parents are not really involved with their kids. Not knowing where your kids are. And not knowing who their friends, who they are associating themselves with, the type of environment, that your kids involved with,
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That is a very good point.
When my kids was young, I wanted to know where they are.
Exactly.
I wanted to meet the parents.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what kind of kids, what kind of friends that they were calling them friends, themselves friends with. That was important for me to know that.
Yeah. She knew where all my friends stayed.
My mom did.
I
too.
sure
It'd
did.
be days where I wouldn't clean up that room, and I think I'm supposed to go to my friend's house.
Not going nowhere.
Now, if I did make it, because she might have been at work or something, and I knew
Yeah.
I was supposed to clean that room and take out that trash before I left the house, I'll leave the house without doing it right. I'd be in there having a good old time. Next thing you know, I heard the horn blowing.
Yeah.
Everybody know that that's my mama. Kendrick, your mama outside.
Time to go.
Sure enough, yeah.
Time to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm going. I'll be on the phone. Look, Kendrick over there.
Yeah.
Okay, well he didn't have my permission.
Yeah.
So
you need to come home.
yes,
But
I'm on my way.
And then and that's a thing to where you got to understand that the other parents are on the same mindset that you're on. And that's another thing because, sometimes, what, I like how you think as a parent, I trust my child with you.
Right.
But when that process isn't in place, it's like, everybody not on one accord.
Right.
You know what I'm
Parents
saying?
knowing the parent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to know the parent in order to know where that child is coming from, that your child is around. So
Right. Absolutely.
until you can get comfortable with that. But like you're saying, where your kids are at. Mind you, on this 4th of July, this, 1 o'clock in the morning? And Jordan had to ask me, do their parents know they out that late? I said, that's a good question. I said, because we talking about 300 plus kids walking up and down Polk. That is crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
On a Saturday night.
I want to say this before we go into the next subject. To the young folks, respect your elders, respect your parents, your grandparents, and anyone at that matter. Show love. Let's promote showing love. Let's start promoting respect. Like I said on my platform before, let's start treating ourselves first and foremost like kings and queens.
Yeah.
And definitely start treating others like kings and queens. Show love, spread love. The violence is not what it is, because when you catch that charge, you in that cell, is you by yourself. You got to do that time by yourself. Your friends can't help you with your time. Your friends can't do that time for you. And one of the most valuable things that we have on earth is time.
It's time. And let me just add to that with the respect portion. Before you can start respecting others, respect yourself.
Right.
You have to respect yourself. You are a representation not only of yourself, but of your family, of your race,
Yes.
of everything that defines you to be who you are to this day.
Yeah.
And if you don't take that time, that millisecond to understand that before your actions unveil, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Respect yourself first.
Now, what I would have to say is it's never okay to refer to your parents, your mother, as the B.
Yeah. Not at all.
That's
It's
a no-go.
it's never okay, mothers, to call your daughters the B.
Right.
Not at all.
A lot of times we're teaching our daughters and sons how to be disrespectful.
That's facts.
So
That is facts.
let's gain some respect. Young ladies, respect yourself. Respect yourselves.
Yes.
Love yourself.
Yes.
But respect yourself. You don't have to give all your goodies.
Right.
Show all your goodies, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
leave something for the imagination.
A little
Right,
bit.
right.
Surprise
Just
me.
a little. Just a little.
Surprise me.
So the next topic I want to talk about, because we both are in recovery, and I want to end off with talking about recovery, addiction, but what I really want to touch on is something that you would give somebody that's struggling with addiction. What would you give them to help them, or what would be the best advice that you would give somebody who's dealing with substance abuse?
Man, it's a lot of things. But the most important thing that I would give an individual that's dealing with substance, first thing I would give them love. That's the first thing. Showing care, a charismatic mindset towards a person that already doesn't feel nothing for themselves, kind of goes a long way. First, have to feel love. Once that is felt, then you can kind of go into the strategies and things of that nature. But until you get a hold of that compassion, to show them, for them to be like, where did this come from? Oh, I forgot what this felt like. Why? Because everybody did have a mother at some point in time. Everybody did have that love when things was upsetting. They calm you down, pat you on your back, tell you I love you. You know, I think I would give that to anybody up front, and all the lessons can kind of follow. Everybody's story is different,
right.
You know. Everybody's outlook is different. Everybody's life understanding is different, but systematically it's all the same. And the recovery aspect is just the beginning. It really is just the beginning, and you're experiencing it. Your mom is able to see it through you and through me, you know.
Right.
She's able to see the growth and how things can kind of move forward. And it's not easy at all. I think I have day-to-day issues all the time. It's just me knowing how to cope with them and control them what makes me a little bit different now. And my mom gets on me all the time because she's like, Darrington, you too practical. And I'm like, that's probably what I wasn't before. I wasn't practical enough.
Right.
You know? You know, when we used to do things and our mind telling us to do it and F it, you know? And I was thinking about this earlier. What does F it come with? Well, why am I so okay with just doing whatever, not knowing what the repercussions is going to be?
Right.
And then act surprised when it does come. That's crazy logical thinking. That's insane to me now. But you have to be understanding of that, you know. But like I was saying, life isn't easy now. I mean, it could be anything from a person cutting you off on the road now. I mean, you're gonna have obstacles that happen day in and day out. But by me knowing that I'm in control of how I'm feeling, to allow this to go to the store and buy a beer or whatever, to try to knock that off. You know what? Let me just stop for a minute and just pray.
Right.
Let me just seek some understanding. Let me just go through some photos just to see some loved ones, to know that I'm not only hurting myself, I'm hurting my mother as well.
Right.
I'm hurting my brother. I'm hurting people. We're not giving enough care for ourselves to notice what we're doing to everybody else, which is very selfish. And I think that's what it just kind of boils down to a lot of the time, man.
Yeah.
And me and you both had the same addiction, so you can understand. And your mother seen the same thing happen with you.
Yeah.
As I watched your first podcast, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
And I think I told you that
Yeah.
day. I just randomly text you. It's like, brother, I love you. I admire you, man. And it's just touching to see that I went through that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
my mother had to endure phone calls from car wrecks as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My mother had to come see me on the gurney in the hospital unconscious from passing out in East Texas. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember nothing but waking up in my bed, surrounded around love. You know? At the end of the day, that's what still was there for me. So why should I not give that back?
Absolutely. I agree 110%. The thing that I would give as far as what I could give somebody as far as fruit, right, that's dealing with similar issues, is change. change is one of the biggest things. And when I say change, I'm talking about changing your mindset.
Yeah.
I'm talking about changing your surroundings. I'm talking about changing what you feel is right, your understanding.
Yeah.
You have to let go. You have to change just about everything.
Yeah.
The things that your relationship with God, right?
Yeah.
You have to change what you do on a daily basis. You have to get out of the same routine that you've been in,
Yeah.
right? And you have to change your routine. It's so much change that has to happen to have a successful recovery.
Very much so.
But
Very
when
much
you're
so.
willing to surrender
Yeah.
and you're willing to do whatever it takes for change ain't that hard.
I think the surrendering part is what makes it a big deal, especially for men. Because what does surrender look like for a man? What does being vulnerable look like to a man? Does it mean being soft? Does it mean that I'm punking out, quote unquote? We have to define our masculinity on what is the meaning actually in it, not what people are going to see.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest aspect that most men kind of just fall victim of is looking soft to somebody. Why? Because we're in a man's world, you know?
Yeah.
And once we are able to let that go, I think we'll be a better for ourselves as a human, as an individual, you know? That's my take on it.
Yeah. You got anything on the, as coming from a mother aspect? Do you have anything for the mothers? How would you encourage mothers who's dealing with a child in addiction, or you know, dealing with something like that? What would you give them?
Okay, so just keep loving, giving them love. My oldest son has been into his addiction, I want to say maybe 18, 19 years now. And I've never stopped being supportive.
Yeah.
I never stopped loving him and, telling him, you can do this.
Yeah.
There was a time that I felt that I could do it for him, but I realized I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But you don't degrade them, because that's not what they need.
Right.
Their brain is fogged.
Yeah.
It's full of toxins.
Yeah.
It's not really what they want to do. I don't believe that's what they're wanting to do. It's the poisons that they're feeding into their system. But it takes them making up their mind. But don't stop loving.
That's good.
Don't stop
That's
loving.
important.
Yeah.
And that does not mean that you have to keep enabling them also. That you it's a really dark journey for a mother as well as for the person that's in the addiction. With Reginald, and it's not my first time. My son's was not my first journey in addiction. There was my youngest sister, Rhodesia.
Wow.
There was my stepfather, Jimmy. There were my brother, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've walked this journey
Several times.
many times.
Yeah.
And I've always just pulled out love, and took them, talked to them, pulled into them, there's help for you.
Yeah.
But you have to want the help.
Yeah.
Right.
So I will always, be that positive force in their lives.
Yeah.
So
I commend you. That takes a lot of strength, man, to not only be able to just endure that from that one person, but to do it over and over.
And let me add this to my oldest son. I love you dearly. I gave birth to you. I want the best for you. And when you decide to move yourself out of the way and let God take over, surrender and totally surrender, and not be looking for conditions, you know, from this program, that program that you've gone into, you know, you have to go in there and, you know, follow the rules,
Yeah.
you know,
Discipline.
and work the steps, Reginald.
That's it.
Work the steps.
That's it.
It's no different for you than it is for your brother and my son here, Darrington from another mother. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You got to step out of the box, out of the comfort zone, and give it to God.
That's it. That's it.
I love you.
Well, you know, I think that's a great way to wrap up the episode in love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most
You know,
definitely.
Scars Can Talk. Back with it. You know, make sure y'all stay loving, stay respectful, stay
Yes.
caring, stay
Yes,
serving.
yes.
This man, one of the best serving people. I'm talking about he gonna look out for you. When he love you, he care about
Not
you.
too much.
He
not
gonna
too
make
much.
sure you straight.
Not too much.
But we want to thank y'all for tuning in to Scars Can Talk.
Yes.
Thank
Mama
you.
J, Darrington. We
Much
be at it again.
love.
We be at it again shortly.
Yeah.
Love y'all, man.
Don't forget
See you
to
soon.
share, like, and subscribe.
Please, please.
Don't forget it.
hit that button.
This the news somebody else can use.
Yes, sir.
And we out.
Mm.